What is happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys tuning in to another episode of One Big Fire and little special occasion, right? Different day, different time, but Mr. Stasek and I are definitely bringing the fire today for sure. What's happening, brother?
Man, I was just looking at my calendar here. I'm on day 22. 22 of clean living. No alcohol, no weed gummies.
Good for you, brother.
And yeah, man, I'm doing my own version of 75 hard. I just think that first of all, kudos to anybody who's completed 75 hard. I know people have done it multiple times. I know why you're doing it. And I've also never been really, I'm like, yeah, it's not something I really, there's a couple things that I'm not a huge fan of with it. One is like you and I exercise 6 days a week, sometimes 7, but you know, we're committed, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not in the gym. We're out doing 4-mile walk. You're running. And like the whole thing of like, you have to get one inside, one outside. I mean, that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but there, you could still achieve the same level of fitness especially living in Ohio. I mean, we had days that it was 100 degrees. It felt like 110 with the humidity. It literally sucks the wind out of you. You don't even want to do anything outside. To like the reverse where it's below 10 outside. So I came up with a new concept called the Easy 100. And the Easy 100 is like no alcohol for 100 days, no weed, none of your vices, right? And get one workout and eat clean. Make sure you're hitting your macros. And then listen to something good. Read. Make sure you're reading something. I don't care if it's something that's gonna make make your mind work and maybe challenge your thinking. Could be the Bible. Could be something that I'm reading another book right now that's blowing my mind. I'll share with you, John. You've probably already read it because
I already have. I saw what you shared. I have. Yeah.
The Untethered Soul.
Remarkable. Yeah.
The Untethered Soul, and so that's the Easy 100. I'm on day 22, and I want to share with the audience that it's not, I wasn't drinking a ton. Sometimes I would drink more than I should, but it wasn't like an every single day thing. But for me, that wasn't even hard. I don't even miss it. I've replaced it with some really killer non-alcoholic beers out there.
Yeah.
That's
Derb's go-to choice, right? He reset 75 hard 2 days ago. His wife, Ashley, wanted to get on with him. And he said, listen, I'll restart with you. And so they're back on it and doing it together and been playing some golf a little bit with Derb. And he's got the NAs out, baby. He's got the NAs.
They taste pretty amazing. And it does replace that thought of, because it's not so much an addiction for a lot. Some of it is, but for those of you who aren't like physically addicted to that stuff, what it actually does is it replaces a habit. Coming home, cracking a cold one. And I was never even a real big beer drinker anyway, but like, I love it. It tastes good. Golfing.
Yeah, it's best. Yeah, the NAs on the golf course are the best. You're 22 days. Our body reset about day 30, day 31. So you're about 10 days away to really where your body will reset. And you'll, I mean, kind of going through and sometimes, can't even really tell the difference, but you get in and you're making a run at 100. You'll definitely, you'll feel better for sure. 100% you will. But sticking to that and changing the habit.
My biggest difference I felt, and I don't know with 75 hard all the rules, and I don't know if people can still partake in their gummies. I know a lot of people who use medical grade marijuana gummies to sleep and to relax at night, which is exactly my habit. Literally, when I came home, go right to my top drawer, take a gummy, then I'd start dinner. By the time dinner is done, the gummy's kicking in, things are good the rest of the night. I'm having a great night. The hardest thing was that with 75 hard, are you?
Yeah. So 75 hard is like you said, the 2 45-minute workouts. One's got to be indoors. One's got to be outdoors. And then, or at least one of them has to be outdoors, 10 pages of reading, 128 ounces of water, which for some, like, the women that are on that, because really you only need half of what your body weight is. So, if you're 200 pounds, you only need 100 ounces of water, but he pushes 128. So sometimes that's a lot of water for folks. Like I said, the 10 pages of reading, stick to a diet. So you got to have some type of diet that you're going to stick to.
Yeah.
And so being able to run through that when I did it, the 10 pages of reading was hard for me because constantly on the go. I'm constantly listening to something, but to physically sit down, crack open.
Oh, you have to physically sit down.
Yes. And get through 10 pages of reading was the challenge for me, that I had the hardest part with. So, and then you got to take a progress picture. That's the other thing too, is you have to take a progress picture.
So let's talk about that. Progress pictures. I'm about it, right? But it's daily, correct?
Every day.
Okay. That's why you need to sign up for the Easy 100. Number one, with the Easy 100, you can listen to that. You can get all the listening you want. I don't read books. I got audio books, brother. I'm listening to audio books in the car. I'm listening to them at the gym. I'm listening
all the time, nonstop.
I have the Bible thing. I'm listening to the Bible app when I'm outside watching the sunrise. Like, it doesn't have to be hard, right? Like, you could still get those results and create new habits, and it doesn't have to be hard. The other thing I want to talk to you about is the weed thing. With 75 hard, it
just says no alcohol. It says no alcohol. Part of that is no alcohol.
Those people, y'all doing the 75 hard, I know half to 75% of you are hitting your gummies. And I'm going to tell you right now, you may think that doesn't do any damage. Okay, listen, I am a fan. Don't get me wrong. I ain't cutting on gummies. As soon as this is done, I'm going to have me one. But I will tell you this. The brain fog's real. Okay, you do a gummy the next morning. I have no brain fog right now. It's like
that's the biggest difference.
And that, like you were saying, takes 30 days to kind of like get out of your system completely. That's for real, because the first couple of weeks, even though I hadn't touched a gummy, I still had the fog a little bit, and now, dude, I wake up 5:15. Which for me, I was getting up like 7:30-ish, whatever. So like I'm 2 hours. I just gained 2 hours in my day.
You're trying to sleep through that fog.
Well, exactly. So the 75 hard, if they allow the use of cannabis, you're still getting that brain fog, man. Yeah. You're still not having that clear. You're still not really having a sober, mind and body. That's just a fact, Jack. Yeah. And I'm not cutting on you. I'm not judging you. I love them. The hardest thing about this for me is the stopping of the gummies, to be honest.
You got the gummies. Mine, and you got me hooked on this, was the Deltas. So there's a shop here that has, it's an NA store, right? But they have a lot of the mushroom and a lot of the THC, CBD type of things. And dude, that's my favorite, is because you talk about replace the drink, but just sipping on that. And, that's kind of the wind down, right? To be able to have it without the alcohol. So I'm with you, brother. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'll tell you, dude, the guy that gave me the idea was Harley. And he's like, I've been having to make some big decisions. I didn't have to make big decisions. I've just been making some big decisions, because I knew there was a higher form of myself that I needed to find. He goes, you're going to have a hard time getting there without a clear head. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, it's one thing to stop drinking, but like the weed thing, I mean, we all love it. We love, I'm not a big smoker of it. I'll do it once in a while, but like, I love my gummies, and a lot of people love their gummies. A lot of people like their drinks, their D8s, whatever. He's like, your brain's still foggy with that, man. And you know what my initial reaction was? I'm like, what you talking about, Willis? I'm like, I ain't trying to listen to this. Like, I'm good water. I'm fine. I was just bullshitting myself more and saying that, like, I was, my mind was just fine. Everything's fine. Look, things are good. But the truth is, dude, there is a level of clarity that you can get to, whether it's 75 hard or the Easy 100. So I'm rambling here, but look out for the new program coming out.
Easy 100.
To a city name near you called the Easy 100. I even ChatGPT'd it because I was thinking, should it be 100 easy or Easy 100? ChatGPT says it's better to be Easy 100.
Easy 100. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Man, you want to talk about something not easy that was absolutely freaking remarkable.
Yeah.
And kind of always been our methodology and stance, right? It's not the best agent that wins. It is always the best marketer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even a close second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh. It's always the best marketer that always wins. And you talk about a master class that will be studied for years. You talk about textbook, every card in the deck was played and well played. So, I saw some nonsense and some people, a little bit of hate on social media. Don't give it much substance when you unpack and really look at what Hermosi was able to pull off. Was the greatest marketing feat I've ever witnessed. And that's for, being a student of Jay Abraham, of Dan Kennedy, of, Kurtz, of Frank Kern, of all of the OGs out there. He took every one of the best of their playbook and he executed it flawlessly.
Hang on one second.
You got it.
Yep. Keep talking, John.
I
got an emergency call here.
To the tune of letting you guys let's do some math real quick. So as of day 3, just do some math here, okay, guys, and we can unpack what we learned.
Sorry, brother.
So the tune of the world record, the Guinness record that he set, was 2.97 million copies. Now, keep in mind, this was a book launch. Okay. Understand Hermosi's methodology is give it all away for free. We learned that from Eben Pagan back in the early days of internet marketing. He's one of the OGs that coined the phrase "move the free line."
Yep.
And so Gary Vee took it to another level, essentially give it all away for free. Hermosi lives by that methodology. He gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. So just do the math. The book is $30. That is sticker price of the book is $30. He sold 2.970443. 2,970,443 copies in one day, his launch, times 30. That is, folks, $89 million in a one-day book launch. I don't care what you're selling. $89 million in one day. Most people can't get their head around what that is. And so you look at what he executed flawlessly to the point of goes in, teaches for 15, 20 minutes, and then goes right into the pitch. Flawlessly into the pitch. And it was textbook webinar 101 pitch, right? Jason Fleeling or whatever the gentleman is, he is the godfather of the webinars.
Yeah.
And you've got Brunson that has perfected it. You've got Frank Kern that's perfected it. And he just value stack, gave it all away, teased, I could charge this. It's worth this. I charge this. It's worth this. You get that for free. I could charge this. This is it. Like, bro, it was a master class, John, on how to sell.
First of all, there's 2 other books. For people that don't know who Alex Hermosi is, I think this was his second one. Right?
$100 million leads was the second one. Yep.
This is the second one. The other one, I don't.
It's purple.
Yep. Somewhere.
Yep.
But it was $100 million offers. So we said in the comments, I said this is this book is the third of the trilogy. Mm-hmm. But similar to like when we see like The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings and stuff like this, like they reverse the trilogy. You know, they kind of start it from the future and go toward the past. This says volume 2, which ironically would be volume 2 if you reversed it.
If you did reverse it, yeah.
But this book was called what? I have 2 questions for you. First question is, what was so the first he launched was $100 million offers, because we know in the marketing world and real estate, you always need to be working on your offer.
Always.
It's an important thing. If you're selling real estate, if you're selling a service of any kind, if you're an entrepreneur watching this, then you need offers. And the offers is your lead magnet's going to bring people, your audience to you, and then they become a lead. But before you do all of that, you need this. Go ahead and tell us about the book.
What's the business model, right?
Business model.
What's the business model? And that's what the book is, $100 million money models, and what he considers the 4 key elements that have to make up a money model, right? You got to be able to have leads come in. You got to be able to upsell them. You got to be able to downsell them, and you got to have continuity, right? To be able to continue. And in his mind, it takes all 4 to make a true money model. Whereas some businesses just have leads and they convert them. Some people, they get in, they just upsell. They have people that come in high ticket and they downsell. And then some just, continuity, right? Just keep selling them. But when you put all 4 together, that's what he talks about as a true money model. And, you look at what he unpacked and he gave away, and he's just been a scientist for the last couple of years, and he's documented and recorded everything, which is another lesson. He documented and recorded everything. Okay. Remember, we are in the AI era. Record everything y'all do. Okay. And so people that would come out to Vegas to acquisitions.com, pay him $35,000 to sit in the room led by his team, consult with him, spending 6 figures to consult with him for one day. He documented and kept track of everything. And everything that he would give his acquisition.com clients, he would give to them. He packaged all of that.
Oh, okay. So when we're talking about Alex Hormozi, in case, Alex typically, like John has been saying, doesn't sell book. I mean, he sells books, but like, that's not where he makes his money.
Nope.
And really, like, as of the last time I looked, and correct me if I'm wrong here, John, but it wasn't like you could just hire him to be your coach, because acquisitions.com was his main business model. He partnered with people.
That's his whole business model. He wanted a piece of the upside.
So he partners with a company, small business that wants to scale. I don't know if it's like his minimum was 10 million and wanted to get to 50 or whatever the, his parameters were, right? He did have, you couldn't be, probably like a $500,000 company. And I don't know if he partnered there, but he basically partnered for a piece of equity, kind of like in a way, sort of like Shark Tank, but 10x better, where he come in, maybe he would make an influx of an investment of some kind or whatever, but he would be trading for a position of equity, correct?
Correct.
Partner, and then help scale that business up. He started out coaching gym owners. So that was his model was, coaching gym owners on how to increase membership through teaching them how to market their services better, how to position the gym better, all the things that we talk about with real estate, which is basically making sure that you can articulate your value proposition. And for a gym owner, it's their gym. It's where people come, and how do you articulate that? And then now he's brought Sharon onto the team, and Sharon Chavista, who used to be one of the leaders at Real, and another marketing genius, by the way. So
brilliant.
Curious if he brought Sharon on with this launch.
He did. So I jumped in, and I know there's quite a few people. John Hart was a big Hormozi fan. They had a watch party there in the office in Columbus, and I was actually out on a long run, and part of the strategy was I was going to run, and then when that came on, I turned around and started walking so I could listen to the thing. And when it came out, it was like said it was going to be 2 hours. And I'm just watching, I'm just smiling because I know what he's doing, and it's textbook. And it's just like, oh my gosh, right? And he's like, and it's going to be this. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to give it away for free. That's part of the value. That's part of the stack. And just sure enough, kept going. So he gives away the whole framework that pulls the levers in all of his businesses, right? We talk about, 4 growth levers. He really talked about 3 that he uses, which is, traffic conversion and fulfillment, right? When we talk in real estate, we also talk retention, being able to keep agents on your team. It's a little bit harder with retention with buyers and sellers, sometimes investors and things like that. But he pulls those three levers, but he also pulls the profit lever, which is what I loved when he started talking about that. I was like, that's brilliant. I love that. And, he's given examples of traffic ideas, of conversion ideas, of fulfillment ideas, and then of course of profit maximizer, to maximize all the profit in the business. And he's just going through, he's just educating, teaching, and giving away along the way. So he gives all of that, right, as part of the value stack. The offer is, I want you to buy books, because this is a book launch. Don't lose sight of what this is. He wants to shatter a world record. He has Guinness on hand to monitor, to set the world record. That's why he's there. That's why he's doing it. And so his whole thing, right, to be able to go through and do all of that. And then he gives away that, gives away the lost chapters, the information that didn't make it into the books. He breaks down, gives away what he learned from all of the consulting over the last 2 years, when he's kind of been in the lab building up to this. Mm-hmm. And then this is where he got me. I was like, good. I was good. I was like, I'm good. I'll get a copy of the book. I'll just keep consuming his content, going there. This is where he got me. He goes, all of the lessons and everything that we've taught that people come to Vegas and pay 35 G's for, all of the consultant that I consulted, people paid me 6 figures for the last 2 years. And I put it into AI. Ask Alex. What would Alex do in that situation based upon all of the data, all of the books, all of the criteria into an AI tool? And I'm like, got me. He got me with it, because I know how fast those things can solve. Can we jump in Satori? Can we pull the books? Can we pull some of the videos? Can we go through there? Of course. But when you have an AI trained on all of Hermosi's knowledge to be able to ask questions and do things, he got me. And I was talking with DJ, the guy, he got DJ too. And keep in mind, right, the offer is 6,000. That's the offer, because it's 200 books.
Right.
And it's to donate 200 books. You can bring them in. You can give them to your team. You can give them to clients when they're onboarding. You can use them. And he said, listen, if you don't want to use them, he goes, we'll donate them, because here's my mission. My mission is to make sure that this copy of this book is in every hand of every entrepreneur in the United States. And so he has a vision, he has a goal, he has a mission, and it's all through the books. So he's packaging everything. And then he throws AI empowered tool with all of that knowledge already inside of it. And of course, right, the first thing I got access to, what did I do? I went right to the AI tool, started playing around with it, started asking questions. What would you do in this scenario? Hey, this is my situation. How do you overcome it? What do you need to do? And it's so freaking powerful to be able to shortcut the process and not have to go spend 6 figures to get his attention. And then he did, of course, a bigger order bump of giving his time away for somebody that wanted to buy even more books. So there was a order bump on top of the order bump, and it was textbook, man. It was just absolutely classic.
Like you had said beginning, we live by the mantra that it's not the best real estate agent, negotiator, all this that's going to win. It's the best marketer. Why? It's because the acquisition of clients is one of the hardest things that people can't figure out. It's why we have 80% of agents that get their license in the last 12 months won't have a license in 5 years. The reason why that fallout, that 8 out of 10 won't even be in the business, is because for the most part, well, there's a lot of reasons. One is most won't commit. Most aren't obsessed. They're just interested in real estate. That's a fact. It'll always probably be a fact. But the other big thing is they don't understand how to acquire their next client.
Customer acquisition.
It's client acquisition.
Yep.
And so the question I was going to ask you, which I hope I didn't really answer it by that, but how is this applying to your everyday real estate agent who wants to go from, let's say they're doing okay, man. They're like 25, 30 deals, but they want 60, 80, 100. I was just on the reason I was late to come on this with you is I was on the training we do for our Accelerate clients who are scaling their business. And we got a guy that's doing, he's already at, and I think he's like in Alabama or something like that. I think he's already at 89 sales. He's a solo agent. He's going to probably do 110 sales this year, easy. And he's doing the agent attraction with every code broke. He's like, hey man, I got a ton of leads. If you want to know how I do it, here. And he sends them the webinar. So like, it got me kind of thinking like, that's just another way that, because a lot of people are like, well, I can't, that's not for me. And there's a lot of fear people have in their heads about, attracting agents and building an organization. And that's fine. It's definitely not for everybody, but for the ones that it is for, they understand leverage. They're going to have to understand marketing and this thing that we've been talking about with this third book, which goes over business model. Mm-hmm. How would you say what you learned on that webinar? If you even want to call it, I mean, that was a marathon.
Yeah. Because you just kept that in value, which stands by as
your everyday real estate agent, team leader, mm-hmm. You said DJ bot, what principles, what strategies, tactics, what was it that you think that out of pulling from Hormozy that day with Hormozy, because all I saw was everybody was all over it, right? Like, and by the way, I put the link to Agent to CEO in Cleveland. John, do you have a couple extra books for that? Like for the people
I do. I got 200 of them. So
okay.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, everybody coming for sure. Want to make sure they get a copy of that, and for sure. I mean, it has to be right because that's really what Agent to CEO is all about, right? Is really building the business model side of things. We don't get into offers, we don't get into sales, right? We don't get into the other two books. We get into the money model, what it takes to really build a money model in a business, and fulfill and operate on it, really operate at a high level, which is what Agent to CEO is all about. But there was a really good article that BAM put out, and Vanessa Bowman over at BAM, she put out talking about this, and she talks about the 4-part playbook for agents. So the very first one is that she talks about is that your network is your net worth. And he, really pushed hard. If you go and you pay attention to the 4 lead getters and the core 4 that he talks about in $100 million leads, and he had a massive affiliate push that really pushed to be able to get all of these people on. I know YouTube was showing live with me was showing about 42,000 people were on when I was on watching. That was what the little YouTube was showing. But you don't get there without a network, right? You don't get out there without building the right connections just in everything that you do. And so tap into your local network. That's what the point is like tap into your local network. Open house event, don't do it alone. Get partners, affiliates, and even local businesses involved and give them a reason to help you, why they would want to help you.
So let's talk about the network. Alex has built 42,000 people on a webinar. Most of us can't wrap their brains even, around that. Okay. The only thing I've seen bigger was like literally a network marketing, big event that they did during COVID, which there's a funny story around that. We don't have time for it today. About it was live like this and cameras were on and I'm going to go deep. So, but the reason that he was able to get 42,000 people on a webinar isn't because he was running. Now he probably was running ads. I'm assuming he was running
ads. Ton of ads. I think over $5 million worth of ads.
Okay. But I'm running a ton of ads right now. Mm-hmm. You're running ads. Okay. I'm running ads for Agent to CEO. I'm running ads for Rock the Spectrum. I'm running ads to my webinar. I'm always running ads. I always have offers out there. But 42,000 people on a webinar. Yes, the ads helped, but he built a network. How did he do it? He did it by making deposits into his audience for free. He gave everything away for free. Like you were saying at the beginning of our show
value,
here.
Value.
He just hit value stack. And I don't want to make a statement that I don't know the truth of it, but you don't typically make a lot of money by selling a book.
No.
You might break even, but it serves a different purpose. It builds your audience. And that's kind of where I'm going with this, is that what are you doing on a daily basis to build your audience for your real estate company? What are you doing on a daily basis to build your database that you nurture on a weekly basis? And are you nurturing with actual good things or bullshit recipes, or, hey, it's Memorial Day, or, hey, happy Labor Day, or look, understand your audience is getting pummeled with those bullshit messages. That's not the value that they're looking for from you. They want things that are mind blowing. I was talking on Monday on our agent attraction mastermind call about the things like when I see something, hear something that really is just like, oh my gosh, I got to write that one down on my whiteboard. Like something that kind of blew my mind. I try to package it up and share that with my audience, because if it blew my mind, it's going to blow their mind. Constantly sharing the value that are actually things that move the needle for you. Give it away.
Give it all away.
Build the trust, build affinity, constantly building. I mean, and that's what a marketer does. The best marketers do that.
Always. To your point, the second thing that she touched on here was you're not sending enough emails, right? And talked about had over 2,000 ads created, nonstop text and email blitz, and talking about agents don't even send emails at all. And so basically the takeaway that they were talking about here was you need more touches. So there was a survey done that over 27.8% of agents don't send emails at all. 27.8% of agents don't send any emails at all. And you need more than one. So being able to have more touches, right? We need more touches. So to your point, right? More value, more touches. The third point is excitement sells, right? Enthusiasm, right? What's Jordan Belfort's, 3 things: sharp as a tack, a force to be reckoned with, enthusiastic as hell. You got to be excited, right? Yeah. And that it comes through, right? And it's so contagious.
Well, John, who's the most enthusiastic dude you know? He happens to make the most amount of money at eXp Realty.
Mr. Brent Gove.
It's Brent Gove.
Mr. Brent Gove.
If he smiles any bigger, his face may break. This man is constantly smiling. And I'll tell you this too. I'm fortunate and blessed to have him as a friend. And that man actually means it. So, you talk about enthusiasm. It's something that I struggle with. I'm not going to lie. When you're going through shit, sometimes it's really hard to be enthusiastic.
Yep.
And I want to share a lesson from our friend, Dr. Matt Townsend, that I wrote on my whiteboard. And when you're not like, okay, you're out there listening, like, okay, that's easy for you to say, John Kitchens, you're one of the greatest coaches in real estate and this and that, everything's going for you. But sometimes we all got shit. And what happens is we're stuck up in our head. We're up in our mind or we're in our body. And what we need to do is step into our spirit and become an observer of what's happening, because whatever's happening up here is not real.
Yeah.
Get out of it. It's easier said than done. But enthusiasm, if you're not coming at people, nobody wants to do business with something that is boring or like, that doesn't mean you got to be jumping out of your shoes. Be real, but enthusiastic. I mean, so Hermosi brought it. I can't wait. I want to watch the replay if possible.
He brought it. And, I think that's just, the lesson for all of us, right? Like, we're all going through it. And it's like, you can choose to be down in the dumps, or you can choose to be optimistic and be like, bring it. And that's why, getting into to everything, and we were going through some stuff this morning, and there was another conversation we were having, but it's all mindset. I mean, honestly, in fact, it was I had Matt and DJ's team this morning, and Derb jumped on ChatGPT and said, what are the top things real estate agents are dealing with in today's market? And there was it spit out 8 or 9 things: fear of rejection, imposter syndrome, lack of discipline and consistency, fear of failure or success, short-term thinking, self-doubt and negative self-talk, shiny object syndrome, isolation, and lack of accountability. And I go, you can fix almost everything here with just the proper mindset. And in having that agent to CEO mindset, having that honey badger mindset, having that mindset of execution, mindset of, there are no L's, right? I'm not losing, I'm learning, right? Yeah. You have to give it a different meaning, and it's always attached to the meaning that you give it. And so I think that's like the biggest lesson out of all of it is, check your mind, because your mindset's everything.
Dude, you just said something. You're not losing, you're learning.
That's it.
And, I don't know that I've heard it described that way, but it's brilliant. And to build off of that, I was watching a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about a young man who's a Christian singer. I Am Something. You can rent it on Prime. And why I say that is the kid, what ends up happening is he's in college, he falls in love. Long story short, the girl he falls in love with, they fall in love together. She ends up with cancer, dies at 21. This is a true story, by the way. He's actually a Christian singer. You can look him up. And he kind of falls into a depression, and he comes back home, and his dad is played by Lieutenant Dan.
Okay. Yeah.
Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
And he asked his dad, and he said, his dad goes, Dad, I prayed, I seen you pray for your music career to work out, and nothing. And I seen you pray for, this to happen in our lives, and nothing. And he said, I begged him to save my wife's life and make the cancer go away. And he took her. And Gary Sinise's character, whatever his name was, looked at him and said, son, the reason my life is fulfilled right now is not in spite of my challenges and problems. It's because of them. Mm-hmm. I was blown away. Mm-hmm. And it's what you just said. And I'm telling you, like, this is a lesson that it's one of those things you wish you would have learned 25, 30 years ago, right?
100%.
And it's so dang powerful, because everyone wants to talk about mind over matter and, it's this and that. But like, when you hear it's said differently, like it's not a cliche. It's just the truth. And when you think about it, how we built, how does anybody, Hermosi here, I put the post up about Morgan Wallen. It was actually about my 8th anniversary at EXP, but it was about Morgan Wallen. Everyone's going to see him on stage. He doesn't miss a note. He's on key. Sounds amazing. Band's amazing. Holy crap! What an experience. What you don't see is all the stumbles, the failures, the fuck ups, the times you just want to throw the towel in, or you think that your career's done, like the shit that he went through that one time.
Yeah.
He's had some shit.
Yeah,
right? Like, I mean, you talk about arrows, and some of those arrows he brought on himself. There's no doubt.
Sure.
Right? But you don't see any of that. You just see this. And so it's just important to keep that in mind. When you're going through it as an entrepreneur, you're going to go through it. Mm-hmm. People are going to see what's on the outside. They don't know what's happening. You got to keep fighting. You got to know and step into your spirit and really just, you got to release a little bit of it too. Mm-hmm. Because some of it's just beyond our control, but amazing stuff, bro.
This is so good.
Thank you for the donation too. Like,
yes, sir.
CEO is going to be, it's good. It's literally going to be our best. I already know it. It's not even, and I know people always say that, but it's because I know who's coming to town. I know the curriculum and how you're tweaking it. I know that it's going to be just something special that even we haven't even experienced, right? So I just was talking to an agent who's joining us, and I gave her a ticket, and I said, you're not going to walk out of that event. You're going to float. That's my guarantee. And if you don't feel like that, I'll reimburse you the plane ticket and get in here. But hotel rooms are almost gone on the block. We have 5, maybe 4 VIP seats left. Once those are gone, they're gone because there's just no more. There's only 20 of them. And we're down to maybe about 20 or so, maybe 25 general admission. There's not a bad seat in this place. Your mind will be blown. Of course, we're going to party afterwards with some country singers, and we got some announcements coming on that. We've added 2 more people to the
giddy up
card, and everyone's going to know. One of them, everyone's going to know. The other one has like 19 million followers. He's an absolute. It's like a home run. So can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Good stuff, brother.
And you can
appreciate you.
Uncle JK for the book. All right.
Bring the book. Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you. You guys get your tickets. You can go to agent2cocle.com. Of course, you can go to honeybadgernation.com, get them there as well. But man, get in the room and come to the land.
See you then.
See you, bro. Thanks, guys. See you.